We're moving our focus to the gruesome murder of 32-year-old Saraswati Vaidya by her 56-year-old live-in partner. And we're getting a breaking piece of input on this, that the cops have started recording statement of the Mira Road murder accused Manoj Sane by 8 p.m. last night. Now, he has floated the theory that the victim Saraswati Vaidya committed suicide on June 3rd. When he came home on June 3rd, he found that she was lying on the floor and there was foam coming out from her mouth. He didn't even want to be accused of her death, which is why he chopped her body into several pieces. Manoj Sane will remain under the police custody until June 16th as per Thane Court's order. Now the ongoing probe will focus on the motive of the crime and the timeline of events before Saraswati's murder. Now, the Mumbai police has so far recovered 13 body parts of the victim and the search for the rest is underway. Now, joining me on the broadcast is Yasha Kotak. Yasha, what more details are we gathering or inputs are we gathering on this story?
So as of now, we understand from the police sources that his investigation started only late last evening, following which he has been constantly floating this theory of Saraswati's suicide. However, even yesterday, while speaking to us, cops have clearly denied that there is no such suicide angle to it. However, he is trying to ensure that the cops do not find the right path for investigation, which is why he is trying to misguide them. This theory is something that the cops are not really relying to, which clearly means that he is not cooperating with the investigation. In fact, this was something that he said the previous day as well in his interrogation. But now cops will try to investigate further because there are several body parts that they have to recover. It was in fact found out that Manoj had disposed of several of Saraswati's body parts before the cops in fact came into the picture. So here their focus would be to find out where these body parts have been disposed of, because those body parts would also have to go in for forensic examination. In fact, according to cops, the body was mutilated to an extent that there was no way that she could be recognized. The only way they've recognized her is through the Aadhaar card that has been provided from her residence from the residence of Saraswati. That's the only identification that they have. The other identification will take place with the help of forensics, because we saw that last night there was a forensic team that had reached their residence to collect all the pieces of evidences. Apart from that, the body parts of Saraswati that have been mutilated have been sent to JJ Hospital. Now through both of these forensic teams, one that's working at JJ, the other one which was at the residence of Manoj and Saraswati, they've pieced together evidences. They'll gather these evidences, cross-verify them. That will help cops further with the investigation. The other line of questioning and investigation would be wherein Manoj Sane's interrogation would take place. If he cooperates with the investigation is where they'll be able to figure out what was the motive for crime. Because let us understand, what is important here is that Manoj Sane has not really confessed to the motive here. He's not confessed to what really transpired between the two of them in the last few hours before her death. Of course, cops know that on June 4th was when she was murdered. But what happened before June 4th, that is something that's still a question mark. The neighbors have not really been able to confirm, because they did not hear any voice, they did not hear any kind of a sound even when she was being murdered. So this is something that cops are investigating. Apart from that, cops also know that from May 29 onwards, Manoj Sane was very much at home. He had lost his job as well. So what really transpired between May 29 to June 4th is a point of question. Yesterday, when we'd spoken to some of the neighbors around, they said that just a day back, when cops were arriving at Manoj Sane's location, or even for that matter, when neighbors questioned as to where this stench is coming from, Manoj Sane went away from his house. He said he had to go to work and he'd come back and look at this issue only once he's back from work, which is where the neighbors grew suspicious as to why Manoj Sane is avoiding the question. Yes.
All right. Yasha, what more steps are the authorities planning to take in the investigation process of this case?
So right now, the investigating process would go in with the angle that once Manoj Sane confesses or informs cops slightly about where these body parts have been disposed or where the bones have been disposed, they'll go further to those locations, try and recover those body parts. Now this is very important because that will be the only way to identify Saraswati. Apart from that, what's also important to note here is that considering Manoj Sane is not cooperating with the investigation, they would have to resort to find out some a way to make him confess. This is something that's a point of contention right now also because the body is completely mutilated. In fact, let us let's inform our viewers that when Manoj Sane had chopped her body, he had boiled them in a cooker so that the flesh and the bone can be separated. So here, in that process of separating flesh and bone, most of the body parts have been mutilated, which is where whatever bones that we found out would be instrumental in getting them cross-checked with the forensic at their residence, because Saraswati did not have any immediate family member to which her DNA examination could be done or any further forensic examination could be done. So the only forensic examination that could happen will be with the hair that was found of Saraswati at her residence. That is, there were hair that was cut and kept lying on the bed. That will be there, and the bone that will be there. So there will be a cross-examination, and the forensic team would try and verify these details as a part of the examination. So this is one part. Apart from that, getting the confession from the accused is another part. It was only late last night after they were remanded the custody of Manoj Sane. Manoj Sane has been given custody until June 16 by the Thane court. After that custody was given to the cops is where they started the investigation thoroughly in this case. The first few hours and the first day, in fact, was spent in just collecting evidences, collecting body parts from her residence and sending them to JJ Hospital, and also seeking custody of Manoj. So this has been the first day of investigation. However, we'll need to see how it proceeds further. Yes.